All right. Filing machine operator interview prep. That's what we're diving into today.
Yeah, getting you ready to smooth out those interview questions.
Just like a filing machine operator smooths metal, right?
Exactly.
So we've got some great resources to help us out with this.
We do.
RoleCatcher's Career Guide and their interview guide for filing machine operators.
Awesome guides. And we've got something else up our sleeve.
Oh, yeah. We're going to sprinkle in some AI magic, too.
AI from RoleCatcher.
It's like having a secret weapon for your application
It can do amazing things like give you custom feedback, for example.
to help you nail that interview.
For sure.
But before we get into the AI stuff,
Okay.
let's set the scene right.
All right, let's do it.
Imagine a busy machine shop.
Okay.
Hear the whirring of the machines.
Oh, yeah.
And you're there
I'm there.
at your filing machine,
All right.
shaping metal
Could do it too.
or plastic
Yep.
with absolute precision.
Precision is key. A filing machine operator needs that. They work with all kinds of machines, you know.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about them.
Band files.
Heard of those.
Reciprocating files. Bench filing machines.
Wow. Quite a variety.
And they use them all to smooth surfaces, get rid of extra material.
It's a real hands-on kind of job, isn't it?
It is definitely hands-on. And you need a good eye for detail.
Steady hand, too, I bet.
Absolutely. Steady hand is a must.
It's not for the faint of heart, huh?
Nope, not really.
Yeah.
But hey, if you love working with tools and machines, and you like seeing rough edges turned into smooth, finished products, this could be the perfect job for you.
It sounds pretty cool, actually.
And you know what the best part is?
Tell me.
You don't need a formal education to get started. That's what RoleCatcher's Career Guide tells us any day.
So you can learn on the job.
You got it. Learn as you go. Work your way up.
Gaining experience.
Skills, too.
That sounds pretty good.
It does.
So, okay, let's say you're interested in this filing machine operator position.
All right.
And you've landed an interview.
That's great.
Time to shift gears, right?
Yep.
Time to prep for those interview questions.
Let's do it.
And luckily, RoleCatcher's interview guide has got us covered.
They've got some great sample questions in there.
They do. Really insightful stuff.
Really insightful.
Why don't we start with a classic?
Okay, sure.
How do you ensure that the filing machine is operating at optimal performance?
Oh, that's a good one. A real classic.
You know they're not just looking for a textbook answer, right?
Right. They want more than that.
They want to see that you're proactive about maintenance, that you're committed to quality.
Exactly.
So how can we craft a response that really stands out?
Well, you want to showcase your expertise, right?
Yeah.
Show them you pay attention to detail.
So it's not just rattling off a list of tasks.
No, it's more than that.
So what should you talk about?
Tell them about your pre-operation inspection routine.
Okay, interesting. What kind of things do you look for?
Well, you're looking for signs of wear and tear.
On what parts?
Belts. Bearings. You check the lubrication of the moving parts.
Makes sense.
And you listen for anything unusual.
Like what?
Any weird noises. That could mean there's a problem brewing.
That's a really good point. So you're not just turning the machine on blindly.
Nope.
You're making sure it's all running smoothly.
Exactly. You're taking the time to do things right.
But what about cleaning?
Oh, cleaning is super important. You got to mention that too.
Like, why is it so important?
Well, for one thing, it prevents dust and debris from building up.
Okay.
And that can affect performance. Could even be a safety hazard.
I hadn't thought of that.
You got to keep that machine clean. That's how you make sure it's running at its best.
And safe, too.
Absolutely.
You know, this is where I think RoleCatcher's AI could really come in handy.
Oh, yeah. How so?
It can analyze the job description
Okay.
and pick out the skills that the employer's looking for.
So it's like it's reading their mind.
Kind of.
Yeah.
Like maybe for this particular role, they're really emphasizing preventative maintenance.
Uh-huh.
And so your answer should reflect that
I see. So the AI helps you tailor your response.
to fit what the employer wants.
That's smart.
Yeah, it's like it gives you a leg up.
It does.
And don't forget, it can also give you feedback on your delivery.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like how you're speaking.
Interesting.
Helps you refine your tone,
Yeah.
your pace, all that.
Wow. So it's like having a personal speech coach.
Right in your pocket.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, now back to the interview.
All right, let's go back
Let's say the interviewer follows up
with another question.
and they say, can you give me an example of a time you spotted a potential issue during your inspection and how you addressed it?
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, this is your chance to shine,
I
right?
wonder what you're made of.
Exactly. Share a specific anecdote, something that shows your problem-solving skills.
And your proactive approach.
I always freeze up when they ask for a specific example.
It can be tough, but just think back. Have you ever noticed something off during an inspection?
Well, let me see.
Think about it.
Maybe. Oh, yeah. Once I noticed a slight vibration in the machine.
Yeah.
And when I checked it out, there was a loose bolt.
Here you go. See?
So I tightened it up.
And you probably prevented a big problem, right?
Yeah, probably saved us from a malfunction or even downtime.
Exactly. That's what they want to hear. You're not just talking about maintenance. You're showing them you can anticipate problems.
And fix them.
And fix them before they even happen. That's impressive.
Okay, that makes sense. So what's another question they might ask?
How about this one? How do you handle situations where the filing machine malfunctions or breaks down?
Oh, man. I hate it when machines break down.
Nobody likes it, but it happens.
What are you supposed to do when it does?
Well, this question is all about staying calm
Easier said than done.
and showing them you can troubleshoot.
Okay, that makes sense.
Remember, machines aren't perfect. They break down sometimes.
True.
And the interviewer wants to know how you react when it happens.
So I shouldn't panic.
No panicking. You need to show them you have a system
A system for what?
for dealing with the breakdown,
Yes.
for minimizing the downtime.
Oh, okay, so where do you even begin?
Well, first you have to figure out what the problem is.
Right, so, like, diagnose it.
Exactly. Is it mechanical, electrical, something else?
I see.
Walk them through your thought process.
So tell them how you troubleshoot.
Yeah, like you'd check the power supply, inspect the belts and bearings, listen for any weird noises.
Makes sense. But what if you can't figure it out? What if it's beyond your expertise?
Then you need to explain who you'd notify.
Like my supervisor.
Could be. Or a maintenance technician.
Okay, and then what?
Tell them about the communication process. Are there any protocols for reporting the issue?
Oh, right, like, do you need to fill out a form?
Maybe. Or document the steps you've taken.
That's a good point. I wouldn't want to forget anything.
It's important to be thorough.
So you're basically showing them that you're not just standing around waiting for someone else to fix it.
Right. You're taking initiative.
Following the proper procedures.
Exactly.
I could even mention a time when I came up with a temporary fix,
Oh,
right?
yeah, that's great. Like a workaround while you're waiting for the technician.
Minimizing the disruption.
Exactly. Show them you're resourceful.
That you're keeping things running smoothly.
And don't forget, RoleCatcher's AI can give you feedback on this answer, too.
Oh, right.
Make sure you're hitting all the key points.
Like a personal interview coach.
That's right.
Okay, so we've talked about maintaining the machine, troubleshooting breakdowns,
We have.
but we can't forget about safety, right?
Oh, safety is huge. Really important.
RoleCatcher's interview guide had a question about that.
They do.
What safety measures do you take when operating the filing machine?
Oh, that's a crucial one. The interviewer needs to see that you take safety seriously.
So I can't just say, I follow safety procedures.
No, you got to be more specific than that. Give them details.
What kind of details?
Talk about the protective gear you use. Safety glasses, gloves, hearing protection.
Right, all the essentials.
And tell them about the machine's safety features.
Like what?
Emergency stop buttons, guards, that kind of thing.
Okay, makes sense.
And emphasize that you keep your work area clean and organized.
Oh yeah, to prevent trips and falls?
Exactly. You're painting a picture of a safety-conscious professional.
Someone who takes every precaution.
That's the image you want to project.
You know, I could even mention lockout, tagout procedures.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. Shows you understand the importance of isolating energy sources.
So no one gets hurt during maintenance.
Exactly. You're demonstrating that you don't just know the safety protocols, you live by them.
Every day on the shop floor.
That's what they want to see.
And RoleCatcher's AI can provide feedback on this too, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. It can analyze your response, maybe suggest you add a detail about machine guarding.
Or highlight your knowledge of OSHA regulations.
Exactly. It's like having a virtual safety consultant in your corner.
Wow, we've covered a lot of ground already.
We have, but there's still more to come.
More insightful questions from RoleCatcher's interview guide.
We'll be back to tackle those after a quick break.
Don't go anywhere.
Okay, so let's dive into some more of those questions from the interview guide.
Sounds good to me. Maybe we can talk about organization.
Organization, yeah, that's a good one.
So RoleCatcher highlights this question. How do you prioritize your filing tasks when you have a large volume of files to manage?
Interesting. That might not seem directly related to operating machinery.
Yeah, at first glance it might not.
But trust me, it matters.
Really? Why is that?
Well, think about a busy machine shop. It's hectic, right?
Yeah, lots going on.
There's stuff happening everywhere. And a filing machine operator who can keep things organized, That's super valuable.
Like how so?
Well, they can prioritize their work. They can make sure the right parts are prepped and ready to go.
So it helps the whole production line run smoothly.
Exactly. It all ties together.
Okay, so how do we show the interviewer that we can handle that? That we can stay organized under pressure?
Okay, so imagine this. You've got a mountain of parts to file.
A mountain? That's a lot.
And each part has a different deadline, different priority.
Oh, man. That sounds overwhelming.
It can be. So how do you make sense of it all?
I'm not sure. What would you do?
I'd start by assessing everything.
Okay.
Categorizing the work.
Like how?
Well, maybe by due date. Or urgency of the project.
Makes sense.
Or even by the type of material.
Oh, right.
Because different materials might need different filing techniques.
That's true. Some projects need a coarser file,
Uh-huh.
and others need a finer finish.
Exactly. So you've got to sort it all out.
Okay, so you've categorized everything. Then what?
Then you need a system for keeping track of it all.
A system. Like what?
Well, there are different ways to do it.
Give me some examples.
You could use a physical logbook,
Old school.
or a whiteboard,
More visual.
or even a spreadsheet on a tablet.
Ooh, tech savvy.
Whatever works for you. The important thing is to have a system.
A system that works.
Yeah, something that ensures nothing falls through the cracks.
So you don't miss any deadlines.
Exactly.
I like it. It shows you're organized. Detail-oriented.
Those are qualities any filing machine operator needs.
And guess what? RoleCatcher's AI can help here too.
Oh, really? How?
It can analyze your response.
Okay.
And suggest ways to tailor it to the specific job description.
So it's like it's customizing my answer.
Exactly. Like maybe this employer uses a specific software for managing tasks.
And the AI would know that.
Yep. And it would tell you to mention that software in your answer.
Wow. That's pretty amazing. It's paying attention to those little details.
Exactly. Those details can make a big difference.
They can.
Okay, so we've talked about organization.
We have.
Let's move on to teamwork.
Teamwork. Love it.
RoleCatcher has a question about that too.
They do.
How do you collaborate with other team members to ensure smooth filing operations?
Teamwork. So important in any job, really.
Especially in a machine shop.
Right. It's not just about working independently at your machine.
You're part of a bigger team.
Exactly.
So how do we convince the interviewer that we're team players?
Well, think about your past experiences.
Okay.
Have you ever had to coordinate with other operators?
To share machine time?
Could be. Or to troubleshoot a problem together? Maybe you helped a colleague who was struggling with a task?
Or trained a new employee on how to use a machine?
Exactly. Those are great examples of teamwork.
So it's all about highlighting those moments where you went above and beyond.
Yeah, where you supported your team, helped things run smoothly.
And don't forget communication.
Communication is key. Super important.
Got to keep everyone in the loop.
Yeah, let them know about progress updates, potential delays, any safety concerns.
So everyone's on the same page.
Exactly.
Okay, here's a question that might seem a little out of left field.
Huh.
What is it?
How do you stay up to date with the latest filing technologies and trends?
That's a good one. Because the manufacturing industry is always changing.
Always evolving.
New technologies, new techniques.
So filing machine operators need to keep learning.
They do. They can't get stuck in the past.
So how do we show the interviewer that we're on top of things?
Tell them how you stay informed.
Okay, but how?
Well, there are lots of ways. Maybe you subscribe to industry magazines.
Like what?
Modern Machine Shop. Manufacturing Engineering.
I've heard of those.
Or maybe you follow online forums, social media groups.
Oh, where machinists hang out.
Yeah, where they share tips.
Yeah.
Talk about new technologies.
That's a great idea. I hadn't thought about that.
It shows you're actively learning, keeping up with the trends.
I could even mention specific technologies that I'm interested in.
Yeah, definitely. Like maybe there's a new computer control filing machine with greater precision, more efficiency.
Exactly. Or a software program that helps streamline the workflow.
Shows you're thinking ahead.
And you know what? RoleCatcher's AI can help you with this too.
Oh, really?
It can identify industry-specific resources, tailor your response to the employer's needs.
So it's like having a personalized research assistant.
That's a good way to put it.
Okay, let's shift gears again. Talk about confidentiality.
Confidentiality.
Another important topic.
For sure. Manufacturing facilities often deal with sensitive information.
Like what?
Blueprints, client data, stuff that needs to be kept secret.
So the interviewer wants to know that we can be trusted.
Right. That you understand data security.
So it's not enough to just say, I'm trustworthy.
No, you have to show them. by being specific about your practices.
Like what kind of practices?
Do you store physical files in locked cabinets?
Okay.
What about digital files? Do you use password protection?
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And are you careful about who you talk to about work?
You mean only sharing information with authorized personnel?
Exactly. You're demonstrating that you take confidentiality seriously.
And I could even share a specific example.
Oh, yeah, that's always a good idea.
Like maybe a time when I had to enforce confidentiality guidelines.
Perfect. Like maybe a colleague asked for information they weren't supposed to have?
And you had to say no.
Exactly. Or maybe you saw someone leave sensitive documents out in the open.
And you secured them.
That's what they want to hear. You're protecting confidential information.
Okay, makes sense. What else do we need to talk about?
How about customer service?
Customer service. But filing machine operators don't really deal with customers, do they?
Not external customers, maybe, but they often work with internal customers.
Like who?
Production managers, quality control teams, engineers.
Oh, right. People who rely on their work.
Exactly. And those people can be demanding.
Yes, especially when they need something urgently.
So RoleCatcher includes this question. How do you handle difficult or demanding customers who need their files urgently?
Oh, man. I hate dealing with difficult people.
It's not always easy, but you gotta stay professional.
So how do I show the interviewer that I can handle those situations?
Well, the key is to show empathy.
Okay.
And a solution-oriented mindset.
So I should try to understand their perspective?
Yeah, acknowledge their urgency.
And then?
Explain how you'd assess their request. Can you meet their deadline without compromising quality?
Or messing up other workflows.
Right. And if the answer is no, you got to communicate that clearly.
But how do you do that without making them angry?
Transparency is key. Explain the constraints.
Like maybe other tasks are already in progress.
Exactly. And offer alternative solutions if you can.
Like maybe I can do part of it now and the rest later.
That's a good approach. And remember, stay calm. Be respectful.
Even if they're being difficult.
Especially if they're being difficult.
Wow. This is a lot to think about.
It is. But it's all important.
So we've talked about organization, teamwork, technology, confidentiality, and even customer service.
We have. And don't forget about RoleCatcher's AI.
Right. That AI can help with all of this.
It can tailor your answers, give you feedback, make sure you're ready for anything.
Like having a secret weapon in your pocket.
That's one way to put it.
Okay, so we're back.
Yeah.
And we're ready to talk about RoleCatcher's AI.
This is the fun part.
It's like the secret weapon for interview prep, right?
It really is. It takes all the guesswork out of it.
We've touched on it throughout this deep dive.
Yeah, we've mentioned it a few times.
But let's really break it down. How does it work? How can it help me land that job?
Okay, so it's not just about having information.
Right.
It's about having the right information.
Okay, I see.
The information that's tailored to the specific job you want.
Makes sense.
And that's where RoleCatcher's AI really comes in.
So how does it do that?
Well, remember how RoleCatcher's career guide talks about the typical career path for a filing machine operator?
Yeah, entry level, junior, senior.
Right. Each stage needs different skills, different experience.
So the AI takes that into account.
It does. Let's say you're going for a junior position.
Okay.
RoleCatcher's AI can analyze job descriptions for similar roles.
Right.
And it figures out what employers are looking for.
What kind of things?
Keywords, skills. Maybe they want someone who can read blueprints, or someone with experience in precision filing techniques.
Okay.
Or maybe they need someone who understands different metal types.
So the AI figures all that out.
It does. And then it helps you tailor your resume.
Oh, so I'm not just sending out a generic resume.
Nope. You're highlighting the skills that are most relevant to that specific job.
It's like having a personal career strategist.
It really is. It helps you make the best possible impression.
And what about if I'm more experienced, like ready for a senior operator role?
Well, the AI can adapt to that too.
Really? How?
It'll shift the focus to leadership qualities.
Okay.
Or experience in training new operators. Maybe expertise in developing efficient filing strategies for complex projects.
So my resume is constantly evolving.
As it should. It should grow along with your career.
That's amazing. But what about the interview itself? We've talked about all these great questions from RoleCatcher's interview guide.
Right.
But how do I know if I'm answering them the right way?
Well, that's where RoleCatcher's video practice feature comes in.
Video practice. What's that?
So you practice your answers to the tough questions.
Okay.
And then you record yourself.
Record myself.
Yeah, using RoleCatcher.
Interesting.
And then the AI analyzes your performance.
Wow.
It gives you feedback on everything.
Like what?
Your pacing,
Yeah.
your tone, your body language, even if you're using too many filler words.
That's incredible. So it's like having a virtual mock interview.
It is, with an expert coach.
And the AI might tell me to slow down.
Could be. Or to project more confidence.
Or to stop fidgeting so much.
Maybe. It's all about making those small adjustments that can make a big difference.
So it's personalized feedback.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Tailored to the specific job you're applying for.
So if the job description mentions teamwork, the AI will focus on that.
Exactly. It'll help you highlight your collaborative experiences.
And if they want strong communication skills, it'll focus on that too.
It will. It'll make sure you're clear and concise.
This RoleCatcher AI is amazing.
It is. It gives you all the tools you need to stand out, to ace that interview. You get that filing machine operator job.
That's the goal.
So we've talked about a lot today.
We have organization, teamwork, staying up to date with technology, confidentiality, customer service.
Even how to use RoleCatcher's AI to really nail the interview.
And all of this can help you land that filing machine operator job.
It's a great career path. And with the right preparation, you can really succeed.
Absolutely.
Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with something to think about.
Okay, what is it?
We talked about staying current with technology.
Right.
But what about the future? Manufacturing is becoming more automated.
It is.
So what skills do you think filing machine operators will need to learn to stay ahead of the curve? That's a great question. It's something to really think about.
It is. It's the future of work, right?
Absolutely.
So thank you for joining us for this deep dive into the world of filing machine operators. We hope you learned a lot, and we hope you feel prepared and confident to go out there and ace that interview.
That's what we want.
And don't forget to check out RoleCatcher's free resources.
They're a great way to boost your chances of success.
Until next time, happy filing.